What is going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. So wanted to let you guys know that the deep tail predator bust is basically complete and going to be shipping this week for me. They're only finishing, I think 7 units this week or something like that, but I know mine is shipping. So it's basically going through final QC process, being boxed up then shipped to me. So I'll have it early December. Unless shipping's quicker, I don't know. It ships in 3 boxes, which sucks because I'm getting very low on box space. Very, very low. Fortunately, I don't have any more massive pieces. Witch King was kind of the final one, and I guess the Predator bust. Although Hellboy bust will be pretty big. Hellboy 1/3 and Ape Sapien shouldn't be super big boxes, but Hellboy bust box will be huge. And that actually ships end of this month. So it's looking like this month we're going to end up with Ganondorf and Hellboy bust. I highly doubt Predator bust will arrive. Even though it's shipping this week, I don't think it'll arrive this month. But Hellboy bust, Ganondorf, definitely. So I did want to do another re-review for you guys. We're going to re-review Broly by Tsume. I've had this statue now for 4 years. I looked at my video, and I used to own the KOD bust. That's the additional swap out upper torso with the key ball. Now mine is not the KOD version, it's the regular, so it never actually lit up. The closest I could do is put a flashlight next to it to see the light up. Never saw the light up eyes. So I do regret not buying the original KOD. I remember when this went up for pre-order, I saw the KOD and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so amazing. And it was like, what was it, $500 more to get the KOD version. And back then I wasn't making as much money when this went up for pre-order. And so I wanted to save the money. I thought I'll never display it, but I ended up buying the regular. Definitely regretted it. Now I could have sold this and re-bought the KOD, but I never did. However, based off my setup right now, I simply do not have the space for the KOD bust, and that's why I sold it, actually. I liked that bust. I never displayed it. I displayed it for maybe 5 minutes. At the end of the day, I do prefer the Goku. But I just don't have the space. I got, so little DBZ space. Obviously, we have this. Technically, if I spread them apart, then there's space in the middle for, a small statue. And then there's technically a space behind Boo. But not enough for even KOD bust. It'd have to be something like a villain, small base, something not super big. But back when I got this, I said it was 10 out of 10 and the best DBZ statue ever made. So does it still hold up? Now, I've done top 10 DBZ before, so you guys know where this ranks. But for those who haven't seen that, we'll let you know in this video. This retailed, let me think how much this was. I could have swore it was like $1,000. Something like that. It wasn't too expensive considering how big it is. It's a big quarter scale. You see next to the prime ones, it is a big quarter scale. Broly is huge. I think he's like 10 feet tall or something like that. But first, let's check out the base. Base has a standard Tsume styled base where it's just black. It has like a black stripe and then the DBZ logo. Mine, I have to bring it forward so I can see him better so you don't see the DBZ logo that much, but it's fine. But this is from the movie because Broly was never actually in the main anime. But it's just like wind rocks that, he was fighting Goku at the time. You can see rocks are pushed back. There's wind. And I believe right before this scene actually is when Goku did a Kamehameha to his face, and then Broly just walked right through it and then grabbed his head like that, if I remember correctly. So the base is decent. It's not phenomenal. It's decent. It's not as good as any of the other Tsume statues I own. Like Frieza is far superior and Vegeta is far superior when it comes to the base. I think the base is the worst part about this statue. It's not a horrible base, but it's like a 6 out of 10 base. Now, I don't know how much, what else they could do considering the scene choice. Because this is from a specific scene, the base is limited. So for what it is, I think the base, they did a good job. Now, I probably would have done the clouds a little bit different. They're kind of like purple and gray and textured. That to me just doesn't scream cloud. I prefer the clouds that are like translucent and brown. I just think that looks a little bit better. Now, this does have brown and gray earth, so maybe they could have did like instead of a purple gray, maybe a brown gray and translucent resin. They could have made it light up. They could have put an aura around him. I definitely think the base has room for improvement. So the base, I give a 6 out of 10. It's just decent. Broly himself. So he has really strong textures. You can see here on the pants, there's like white and blue, lots of folds. His feet has like what looks like a real gemstone sort of. I'm sure it's just plastic, but. And then his sash. Really good paint out. Very thick textures, not super fine like some of the Prime 1, but I think it works for what it is. He has a very strong texture as well on his skin tone. But I like it. I think it looks good. It adds a lot to an anime character that seemingly is not, from a detailed thing. It's a cartoon. But they make it as realistic as possible. The hair is green with hints of yellow and white. His eyes are just whited out. He has his necklace, which is removable. His upper torso comes off. Goku comes off this hand. It is inserted via a rod. Goku is decent, not phenomenal. I think it could be a little bit better on Goku. It seems like there was more effort put into Broly than there was Goku. Like, he looks good, but the textures and the likeness isn't quite as good. So I think if you compare this is like 10 out of 10 for like paint and detail for an anime statue, where this Goku I'd probably rate more like an 8. So it doesn't quite match up. Now, that is not the focal point. It's kind of an afterthought, but it's very cool the fact you got a entire 1/4 scale Goku being held up by Broly. I think conceptually it's very cool. And then, of course, you have the key ball. Now, I really dislike the fact that Tsume didn't just give you a swap-out hand. They had to make it a torso. They had to charge you $500. Just give me the freaking hand. This hand comes off. Just give me a ball to insert. Why did you have to make it so complicated? So I really dislike that Tsume did that. It was a big money grab for them to just charge $500 more. And the exact same pose as well, which is quite annoying. Lots of veins on him. The veins look great. Super buff. So there has been a lot of Broly statues that have released. I've seen the KD Broly in person, and I think it's fantastic. It's huge and very detailed, very cool. I don't think the sculpt is quite as good as the KD, or the Tsume. The KD is not as good as Tsume. And then there's also the ones by, Last Sleep, and I know there's like a figure class. There's so many Brolys. I swear there's like a new Broly every month. Now we have life-size Broly busts that are bigger than my Thanos and Sauron, which is crazy. There's a Broly bust that's 8 feet wide. Like, it'd take up this whole wall, basically. 8 feet wide by Ant Army, the ones who did that Boo bust. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Who has 8 feet for a giant Broly bust? So, wild. Broly is definitely, he doesn't have a cool personality. He's not like Goku or Vegeta or Gohan or Trunks. He's just like a guy with anger issues. So Broly, I think, is an overrated character. The concept of him is really cool. The legendary Super Saiyan, he gets incredibly buff, but there's no personality to the character. He does look cool. I got to give it to that. He looks cool. I like the backstory. I just think the character himself, there's nothing special about his character in terms of personality. I think every other villain has a way cooler personality. Frieza's my favorite. I like Cell. Boo, he doesn't really have a personality. He's just evil. The androids had a personality, but Cell and Frieza are the best villains in my opinion. Broly doesn't have a cool personality. So I do think he's overrated, but he is a cool looking character. I do like the movie overall. It has lots of great fight scenes. There's 3 of them, plus the newer movie. So he's been in 4 different movies now. So clearly he's a popular character. The idea and concept of him is cool. Overall, I think this statue's, for an anime statue, I still give it a 10 out of 10. I still think it's a DBZ Grail. It's definitely something that's highly sought after, incredible. It hasn't aged. It doesn't look outdated in terms of value and how much I would say you should spend on this. I would say $1,500 to $2,000 is what I would value the regular version. KOD $2,500 to $3,000. So if you're ever getting into anime statues, I would highly recommend getting this. It's a great statue. It's huge, incredible paint apps, incredible detail. It's a solid statue all around. So it still gets my silver approval. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I wish I had a better display spot for it. It's difficult. Yeah, I'd love to just throw it like right here, but it is what it is. The way I'm doing my display is villains down low, and then basically Z Warriors middle shelf, and then Goku and Vegeta top shelf. So for my display specifically, this is the best spot to put him. So I still get great angles. The bar just blocks a little bit of the hand and leg. Not a huge deal, but I still can see him great. Especially sitting down like this is my angle. Anyways, folks, that is my re-review of the Tsume Broly 1/4 scale statue. Let me know what you guys think. This statue is still very popular in my Facebook group, DBZ Resin Collectors, which if you haven't joined, check it out. And check out all my socials in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.